Below our channel outputs is our channel sends, or the cue and effects output section. Each channel has 2 stereo and 4 mono sends that can be used for a number of different purposes. For example, headphone feeds or effects sends. The stereo cues can also be used as an additional line level input for mixing. At the top of our cue and effects send section, we have a pan pot. This pan pot is for our stereo cue sends. Normally, the stereo cue sources are pre-channel fader signals, and these route to the cue buses on the console. This in turn can be picked up in the center section and used as a fallback source. You can select and toggle the source for your cues by holding down the source select, which is at the bottom of the effects send section. Then you press the green pot, which is the send pot for the cue. The options available are a post-channel fader send, the direct output, or an alternative input. The alt input tends to be the alternative input source not assigned to the main fader, and this basically allows the stereo cue to be used as an additional input. So, although we have a 48-channel console, by using the cues in the alt input mode, this gives us 96 inputs on mixdown. The second cue is set by pressing the Set EFX or QB pot, holding that down and pressing the cue level pot. As you can see, the QB lights up, which indicates that that's now active as a send to QB. Using the Set EFX QB pot, you can also cycle through having this as a QB, setting it to EFX output, and you activate the send by pushing on the pot. The master controls for QA and QB buses can be found on the center section. Next we have our effects sends. This console has 4 mono effects sends that are normally sourced post-channel fader. They may, however, be sourced from the channel output. This is achieved by holding down the source select button and pressing the relevant effects pot to toggle the selection on and off. You also have master controls for each of the effects buses in the center section. By using your Set EFX QB switch and pressing the effects send, activates the EFX routing option. And what this does is allow you to send a signal to your track buses via the auxiliaries. You can select what source signal is sent to the track buses by activating the channel output. This is the same as activating a send in your DAW to an aux track or aux bus. This is where you'd usually open your reverb or delay as an insert plugin. The auxiliary channel hosting the plugin handles level control for this effects return. On the console, the return of this can either be routed to a spare channel or to the dedicated effects or echo returns.
Alright, so under our EQ we have here the effects sends. Now we've got a cue send at the top here which can be used for headphone sends, if you want to send a signal somewhere around the studio, so like a fallback monitor, etc. And then underneath here you've got 4 effects sends. And so what we have here, we've got hard patched onto effects for a Bricasti M7 effects unit. Now I've just got a echo plate reverb setting preset on there. And so when I press this in, I can set up my send. And as I pull this around, you'll hear the reverb on the acoustic. Now we could go overboard and really crank it, but all we're after right now is just a little taste to even things out, and it makes it quite airy. I think it sounds really nice.